Hello everyone, nubkeks here with a quick little video breaking down the current Hydra situation that has emerged as a truly wonderful surprise in the patch today. So, what is going on? In a decision that honestly totally baffles, I don't know how this happened, how this snuck past whoever approves this sort of stuff, what they were thinking. But in the patch today, not mentioned in the patch notes at all, is bonkers. It's been a big change to Hydra. What is that change? Hopefully we'll see it here in a sec. I'll try to arrange it so it happens. They have made it so that multi-hit attacks and ally attacks get interrupted when you defeat a decapitated head. So if we can, here we go. If decapitated head, hopefully we'll be able to show this to you properly in a second. Let's see if we can make it happen. Okay, this is looking actually quite promising. Let's just smack this head. I'm going to hit this head one more time. Before, when we got this head down to 0 HP, the full ally attack, in fact, I think we can fire off his A2. Okay, this is looking pretty good. All right, good. Here we go. Do we have the ally? Okay, we've got the ally attack. Hopefully this will work. Let's put it to 1x speed. So before this change, we do a full team ally attack with Mikage. Everyone hits this head. Even when it's destroyed, everyone hits it. Let's see what happens. So Ninja should go first. Ninja's going in. Varl, hello? Androck, hello? No ally attack. What is happening? This is the new change. Once a head hits 0 hit points, that is decapitated, it immediately stops your ally attack from happening. It interrupts it. It stops it, and the head then respawns. That is the change. On top of that, not only does it affect ally attack, it's also affecting multi-hit attacks. So, for instance, I mean, who's got a multi-hit? I mean, let's say you come in with Acrizia does her like double hit. Let's say she does her A3, that single target double hit. If she gets the head to 0 on the first hit, the second hit gets stopped. It doesn't happen. So instead of doing a double hit, Acrizia will go in, hit it once, and then stop, and the head will respawn. This is honestly kind of a disaster. This is pretty bad. It's another massive nerf to people in a string of Hydra nerfs that have been incredibly unpopular. Now these are further nerfs, making not all, but many teams that people are using worse again. Okay, which is really bad. On top of that, I think it's just such a disaster. I cannot fathom why they would try to sneak this in as a secret change and not announce it, not say anything. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Hydra has been driving people crazy for the last month. Putting this change in secret, not even giving people warning, having people discover it for themselves. Hey, why is my team suddenly way worse? Like, it's just one of the worst decisions you could possibly make. It's just crazy. Again, you can see here, Androck he's in the final position. He didn't go in because Varl, who's the 5th position champion, interrupted. It is just a disaster. What team is not affected? And this is what makes it even more of a disaster. And it really, for me, raises the point of why have all of these Hydra changes even happened in the first place, right? In theory, you would think the only reason for all these major Hydra changes would be for better balance, to put it in a better spot, more equality amongst teams. Well, here's the team that's not going to be affected. This is Trunda. The Trunda team. This is the current record, which is by Ziggy. Plus other people, Dr. Mo, Wanjo, Crazy Shiba, Sethace, Pry, a few different people. 6.47 billion. That team is not affected. Because Trunda, she does the one giant hit. The overkill damage still happens. It's only multi-hits and ally attacks are being interrupted. So she works just fine. So she should be totally unaffected. And in fact, this was Trunda's damage on the previous rotation, which had, I believe, 3 Force Affinity heads. This new rotation only has the 1, and it's a pretty squishy head at that. So I think that Trunda's damage was going to increase probably quite dramatically, probably like 8 billion or more, just from switching to a better rotation. Pretty big deal. So Trunda's damage is going to go up. What is the next competing team? The next competing team is also OG Ziggy. sorry, Ziggy, not OG Ziggy. Ziggy or Ovian, excuse me, 1.78. This is the next best team after Trunda. I did some little maths. Trunda, before these changes today, was 3.6 times ahead and was likely to increase her lead to about 5 times ahead with this change here of rotation. Probably going to be 5 times better. The next best team, guess what? Ally attack with Teox, ally attack with Mikage, ally attacks with Insensa, 3 ally attack champions, all of which are going to be nerfed. It's going to be doing less damage. This might lose, honestly, because Teox's ally attack is, again, crazy OP, to be fair. It might lose, like, the 780 million or whatever it is. It might drop down to 1 billion. Trunda's likely to jump up to 8 or more. Now we're in a situation where before, all of these changes to Hydra that happened and made it worse for everyone, changes that have been basically universally terribly received. Before the changes, Trunda was about 10 times ahead of the next best team. And now, as of today, it's very likely that Trunda is still 10 times ahead of the next best team. So again, I raise the question, why the hell? Why the hell have we gone through all of this at all? What has been the point? What has been the point? I don't know what the point is. I don't know what to tell you. So watch out for your teams this week. I think that's the important thing. They might revert this stuff. It might happen. I think it would be a good idea. Like, what they have said is that multi-hit attacks being interrupted is a bug, but they did intend for ally attacks. They do intend for this change to happen to ally attacks. Again, this seems to me, I don't know why they've pushed this live when you've got champs like Trunda, which are still exploiting it, in my opinion. It's still ridiculous. Don't push this change live until you're ready to actually fix the Trunda thing. I don't know. Like, I feel like we waited like 2 years for them to make proper balance changes to Hydra Clash. They've made a whole bunch of changes, made everything worse, and we're literally in the exact same position. It's like, what are we doing? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, hopefully they'll have some more, like, I don't know. Will they have more good changes? Is it just a mess? I don't know. I feel like I feel like if we could go back in time, like 2 months back in time, I feel like if they come in and said, okay, you know what, the shield cap for Wixwell, that does have to happen. We're gonna nerf Trunda, but actually do it properly and nerf her down to be, you know, on a ninja level or something is totally reasonable and extremely strong. Nerfing her down, but she's still really good. We're gonna do it properly. And hey, you know, because power creep in Hydra, because that's the reason, by the way, in my opinion, why you cannot just buff everyone is, you know, it's much better to nerf a couple of really OP champions. Just keep the changes simple. You're not going to break everything by nerfing a couple of champions, and you can keep a better semblance of balance, right? It is very hard to balance the game and have fights work properly when you've got crazy power creep. I think buffing every champion or buffing loads of champs to do 10 times as much damage to keep up with Trunda is just not realistic, and they couldn't keep the game balanced. I think we've got sort of a worst of both worlds situation right now, where instead of buffing everyone, which is terrible because it causes massive imbalance and they can't balance the game, and power creep has been a problem in the game. Like, how do you keep content fresh and interesting and a reasonable challenge for players of multiple levels when you've got such crazy power creep? Very tough. Buffing everyone makes that situation worse. Nerfing a single champion makes people upset, but at least it sort of, you know, that's it. But it fixes the problem. I think, again, a higher Hydra difficulties for the power creep that has happened would have made sense. That could still happen and fix things. But yeah, we're in a situation now where they've just nerfed everyone, but not nerfed Trunda as much as everybody else. So it's still as imbalanced as before. But now everyone is unhappy because there have been nerfs, not buffs. And yeah, they've also made the game, they're really struggling to actually get the balance to go right because they've nerfed hundreds of champions and changed tons of stuff instead of just changing one. So it's a real mess. Everyone's unhappy. It just seems like the worst possible solution to me. But that's where it is right now. You might be better off waiting till the end of the week to see. And they might revert these changes like tomorrow or Monday or something. They might be like, okay, guys, we're going to revert these changes. We are probably going to push the ally attack change forwards. Maybe they'll even go back on it. But they might say, we are going to push it forwards, but we'll postpone it until we're ready to change some Trunda stuff as well in the interest of Hydra Clash balance. I don't know. They might just do nothing, though. But if you can wait, there's probably not too much harm in waiting. If you're going to run your keys now, just expect they are going to do worse damage. It's going to be worse. If you're using any ally attack or multi-hit champions, you're going to lose out on some damage. So just be prepared for that. That's the situation. Needless to say, social media has been an absolute uproar. Let me know what you think. I'm sure the comment section will be a nice, positive, constructive place to be after even more disastrous decisions from Plarium. We'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Just wanted to do a quick video and let you know what's happening. See you next time. Goodbye.